Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and today I'm going to talk about Bernie Sanders and his love for segregationists. But first, please consider donating to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The GoFundMe link is in the description box. Click the link, read the story, check out the other donations, make a donation yourself. I've seen some of you mother freakers donating. How dare you? How dare you not ask for a shout out? So yeah, it's for a charity for one of our subscribers and his wife, helps them pay medical bills. So if you want to donate, you got $5 laying around, you want to donate to a charity, you can at Devon's Journey to Recovery. GoFundMe link in the description box. Alright. So I see this guy, George Wallace, is trending on Twitter. And I'm like, who the fuck is that? Apparently he's like a segregationist from Alabama in the 60s. Right? When that shit was like okay to say out loud. You motherfucker. I'm just playing. But yeah, he's I guess that's what he's known for. And Bernie Sanders said this about him in 1972. He said Wallace advocates some outrageous approaches to our problems, but at least he is sensitive to what people feel they need. Now, of course, we're in a time when, they'll do anything. They'll take it to take down Bernie Sanders and make sure he does not win not only the nomination, but if he won the nomination, they'd make sure he wouldn't become president either. That seems to be the game they're playing. And they took the word, sensitive. See, Bernie Sanders praised George Wallace as sensitive in 1972. Now, what I think Bernie means by this is that, this dude, this segregationist type of dude, he believes what he's saying, and he's genuinely going for that thing, right? He believes in it, and he believes his people believe in that. So he's running on that. He's basically saying, he's trying to actually fulfill the things that the public, his constituents, want him to try and get done. And that's all to it, really. That's how I read it, where he's coming from. I don't think it was, he's a great, great person with great ideas. It's like, no, I think he's just saying, at least this asshole is paying attention to what his people want. That's what I get from that. But, you could tell me I'm wrong. Whatever. But more importantly, we're going to watch this video because it's fucking hilarious. People are going to think I'm campaigning for Bernie now after I play this video. After I did that little segment and then I play this, they're going to be like, oh, you're a Bernie supporter, aren't you? No, this is actually just funny. It kind of ties together, right? Because just like here where Bernie was reading the intentions of what this guy was doing, and now I'm reading the intentions of what Bernie's doing, let's try and read the intentions of this fucking guy. Check this shit out.
Democratic presidential candidate Joseph Biden today faces a controversy 3 weeks ago at a debate at the Iowa State Fair.
Oh, we're watching the whole thing.
Phrases identical to those delivered by British Labour Party leader Neil Kinnock.
Biden seems to be claiming Kinnock's vision and life as his own.
Why is it that my wife is sitting out there in the audience, is the first in her family to ever go to college?
Why is Gladys the first woman in her family in 1,000 generations to be able to get to university?
My ancestors who worked in the coal mines in northeast Pennsylvania don't come up after 12 hours and play football.
8 hours underground, and then come up and play football.
It's because they didn't have a platform upon which to stand.
There was no platform upon which they could stand.
The notion that every thought or notion or idea you'd have to go back and find and attribute to someone, I think is, quite frankly, ludicrous.
The problem here is that Senator Biden told his audience he'd just been thinking about these things, and he failed to give any credit at all to his famous British speechwriter.
I was thinking on the way over here. Now, that's a little too much because, as you point out, what's behind the words? What's there? And a lot of people, the rap on Biden has always been, it's just a surface.
I should have said, to paraphrase Neil Kinnock, it's the only time I didn't, in all the times I've ever used it.
But CBS News found a tape of a second instance.
It reappeared in the New York Times with a new charge, that Biden had appropriated a famous litany from the late Robert Kennedy about what the gross national product cannot measure.
It cannot measure the health of our children,
The health of our children,
the quality of our education,
the quality of their education,
the joy of their play.
or the joy of their play.
Biden gave Kennedy no credit. He has also quoted or paraphrased John Kennedy, Hubert Humphrey, and British Labour Party leader Neil Kinnock, all without credit.
Joseph Biden admitted today that he committed plagiarism when he was in law school. He said it was a mistake, but that it was unintentional.
He quoted 5 pages of someone else's work without proper citation.
I've done some dumb things,
5 pages.
and I'll do dumb things again.
He was given an F.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been dumb.
To the political community in Washington, it all seems of a piece. Plagiarism at law school, plagiarism on the stump.
The great communicator. Strike that. The great imitator.
You don't steal verbatim, or when you do, as he did 99% of the time, you give credit.
Biden's critics say he sells himself as a man whose words and visions can inspire a new generation in politics. But if the thoughts, phrases, and visions really belong to others, it's a form of false advertising.
Is it a wise idea, though, to take something that personal, anyway, from another politician and try and appropriate it to your own campaign?
I think it was a stupid thing to appropriate material that was really very personal, that was someone else's.
Most people didn't know who he was, Joe Biden, and now they're going to say, oh, yeah, he's the guy who plagiarized. That's their first. Politically, that's devastating. These clips are devastating. He looks like a Joe Biden wind-up doll with somebody else's words coming out.
If they're going to do things that are stupid as well as immoral, then they're probably too dumb to have the job of president.
The voters are going to have to decide whether he was dishonest or dumb.
Senator Joseph Biden may have more explaining to do.
The new questions stem from taped remarks of Biden during an April campaign appearance in New Hampshire.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and, in fact, ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
And I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
Joe Biden was victimized by the truth.
Bye-bye Biden. He may not know it yet, but I think this is going to be very difficult for him to recover.
Is Joe Biden dead meat, yes or no?
I think so.
Bob?
He's in terminal condition.
Terminal. Eleanor?
Yes, unless he comes in third in Iowa.
Morton?
Dying.
I say dead.
Ah. Yep, that's. I had to play that whole thing. That's fucking hilarious, man. That's funny. And I actually remember some of those things in there. Joe Rogan, it's probably years ago, he brought up Joe Biden plagiarizing people. He brought up, who was it, RFK? He brought that up then. Just a plagiarizer. I didn't know it was this bad. Jesus Christ. Somehow, certain Jared Taylor fans are telling me that Joe Biden's a shoo-in for victory. It's a shoo-in. That's right. That should end anyone. That was like, what? Almost 5 minutes worth of just, he says something and it's just instantly countered and turned on its head. What are you going to do, Joe? What are you going to do? Well, he's probably going to talk to the DNC and make sure that no mainstream news networks play this clip. This would be super breaking news if it was Trump or Bernie or Tulsi Gabbard or anyone like that. It would be on repeat all day and the day after. But, you know, it is what it is. All right, that's it from me. Please subscribe if you like, comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think. Is Bernie a secret segregationist because he gave a compliment to a segregationist, or more like just made an assessment, which is what I try to tell people to do. Like, oh, what do you think their intentions are? Does this guy believe what he's saying, or is he just saying it to, you know, get votes or get, you know, public approval? Like Joe Biden, where Joe Biden will just say anything to get like approval. Remember the debates where I think someone posed a question to Biden, like, hey, like, isn't your plan gonna, like, you know, hurt the poorest people in this country? Like, actively hurt them, not just take things away, but just hurt them, like, straight up. It's like, no. Like, those are the type of responses that Joe Biden gives. If Bernie's like, well, I think I have a Medicare for all plan, it'll work beautifully, and then the crowd cheers like, yeah. Joe Biden will be like, well, I want Medicare for all too. How about that? Like, he'll just lie just to win the praises in a verbal discussion. He will just lie and do that. But, yeah, tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery GoFundMe link in the description box. With all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in.